What I'm looking forward to is finding out why Katie Prejean McGrady called this book Follow. There's got to be a reason for that.
Well, see, okay, so we're going to find out because Katie was just returning from the Synod on Youth at the Vatican in late November during the National Catholic Youth Conference, and she stopped by the Catholic TV booth with Bonnie to talk about her book called Follow. And so Bonnie just said to her, "Tell us about Follow," and here's what she said.
So Room 24 was received very well. I was quite pleased. I mean, the one person I wanted to impress was my mom, and she loved it, and she gave it to all of her friends. My dad sold it out of the back of his trunk for a little while. But it really did very well, not only in sales, but in connecting with teachers across the country. I've gotten tons of emails, a couple of letters, the old-fashioned, and quite a few people coming up to me at NCYC and saying, "I've shared this book with my fellow teachers." Life Teen put it in their box, and it was shipped out to youth ministers across the country. Because I think, and I hope, it spoke to the heart of evangelization is not a cookie-cutter program, but it's all about building relationships. And so what follows is, if we are building relationships with one another, are we also building a relationship with Christ? And are we ultimately getting back to that? I mean, this whole returning to Him. So in the summer of 2016, I encountered a young man in Los Angeles who asked me a really tough question. He said, "Who is Jesus, and how can I get to know Him?" And despite the fact that this is what I do for a living, this is what I write about, this is what I speak about, I didn't have an answer that I was happy with. So I wrote a book to him called Follow, Your Lifelong Adventure with Jesus. And so what it does is it looks at 4 areas that young people specifically can grow in to meet and fall in love with the Lord. So how we can build a life of prayer, how we can focus on studying and living the scriptures, how the sacraments are our fuel, and how serving others allows us to serve Christ very tangibly. I'm proud of it. The cover matches Room 24, so I'm really excited about that. And the pre-sales are doing really well. So I think young people are inspired to want to meet Jesus when they see other holy people on fire for their faith. I mean, there's this idea that like some Catholic speakers or authors are like Catholic celebrities. And a lot of us that are in this world, we hate that term, because I'd rather us be seen as people that just love Jesus and want other people to love Jesus too. And I think what happens is a young person sees holiness, or they see the pursuit of a relationship, and they think, that's attractive. I want that. How can I get it? I mean, why is Mother Teresa the most beautiful person ever? Because she was in love, and we want that love. So I think that's the impetus, seeing others on fire, and they want it themselves.